Hello everyone, this is going to be the second build for Malefics. This is the other one that I was talking about. That this actually uses cards like Appropriate and, as you can see, Book of Eclipse, and it adds a lot of draw power to a deck that would be otherwise inconsistent, which is basically Malefics in a nutshell. I think that's what basically has held them back. More people haven't used them because they are inconsistent. They don't really have any draw power. They don't have any sort of search capability, so they're as big and bad, as awesome as they are, it's really hard to make use of them. So this is my attempt to, well, again, add some consistency to them. So it uses Appropriate, it uses cards like Hand Destruction, which gives me a lot of draw power, and maybe these are dead or something, or I have a Titanium in my hand, I can send it to the grave and get everything going. And I didn't open up with an amazing hand, but at the same time, this isn't terrible. I had the capability of summoning the Cyber M because I have a Mausoleum, and then I also have the Book of Eclipse as defense. Although I'm going to try to bait out an MST. Nope, does not look like my opponent has any, so this is also incredibly good defense when you have an Appropriate on the field especially. What happens is it stops your opponent's cards from destroying your monsters if they use something like a Mirror Force or it's mainly for back row, but it protects up against a lot of different cards, and then at the same time it puts all of their monsters face down, so it can really screw up their synchros and XYZ plays, which is really funny. And then at the end phase of your turn you draw a card. And using Jackpot 7, so this is going to be a brand new type of way to win the duel, although Jackpot 7 doesn't work when you banish it yourself. It has to be your opponent, so I wonder what weird trick they're trying to use right now. See, I'm not going to Book of Eclipse that. I'll let them get whatever they want to the top of their deck. I'm kind of curious what it is anyways. So let's see, what kind of monster are they playing that... Oh, Morphing Jar. Okay, so what they're going to try to do is they're going to creature swap the Morphing Jar, and then they're going to constantly have me actually use it to... Well, they need this in their hand first, so I do have time. That's interesting. Okay, this is more or less a troll deck, so I'm going to summon Ragweed right now and try to get over this. I could be wrong. They could be using some sort of back row to stop me, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Hopefully it's not. Threatening Roar, yep, okay. I really wish I had drawn Skill Drain, because that would actually be a nail in the coffin against this deck. If they can't use a Morphing Jar, they won't be able to do anything. And they do need this in their hand for that to work, though, so they have the Morphing Jar. I'm sure that they'll set it, but... okay, they don't really need to use... whatever. The cool thing about Ragweed is that when your opponent does what they just did, you get to draw cards off of it. If they draw anything outside of their... No, not going to set the Morphing Jar? Okay, that's not a bad idea. I mean, they need to keep it alive, and they need this in their hands. Wow, so they are really trying to get this to happen. Okay, so I can't attack this turn. That's too bad. So we can go Ragweed. That wouldn't be very fun, though. Do I have any XYZs that could potentially save me from this? Yes. If I can make an 8, that would be great, but I currently can't. Okay. I guess... Summon UFO Turtle. I'm trying to think really hard what the heck I want to do. I'm brand new to this deck. I just made it. This is like... I actually made this with one go. I didn't make any edits to it, so I just left it as it is. And now I'm really, really hoping that my opponent doesn't have Book of Taiyu, which they would set the Morphing Jar, they would flip it, and then this is essentially an empty jar deck. Oh, the fact that they didn't set Morphing Jar tells me that they probably don't have it. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, and I drew a Lance, so if I use Lance on a monster if I use Lance and they only have one monster, that would be... Ooh, that'd be really good, since I can stop them from being able to use Creature Swap for an entire turn. That might... Oh, that would destroy their strategy. Wow, all of these... Oh man, all of the stall cards. Okay, so I can't get over a Battle Fader this turn. Okay, I'm gonna set this. I mean, I might as well just get out all my monsters while I have a chance. Because they are, of course, going to be using their Morphing Jar when they get the cards that they need. Okay, so this is probably going to be just another stall card. I mean, they're using tons of them. Oh, actually, I have double Lance now. That's kind of funny. Okay, now what rank 3 can I make to actually do any good? Usually, I basically expect there to be a skill drain on the field when I use these, so I try to keep that in mind. That's why I don't have that many cards that don't have anything aside for attack. Dang, I would really like to make a rank 8 right now, but I cannot. Okay, what you gonna do? And I do need to keep one slot open, although I'm going to be setting the Mausoleum of the Emperor. And there's a few cards in this deck that I have to be wary about using, like Hand Destruction. If I use that, my opponent would be able to send double of their whatever to the grave. What is that? Yeah, whatever the new card is, they'd send it to the grave and I'd be in a really bad spot. Let's see. Okay, now I can make a Synchro at least. Let's go with... Yeah, Armades is going to be great. Okay, let's go ahead and make that. Then I can also bring it back with Spore Zone effect and make other stuff if I want to. So here we go. This is never going to be destroyed by battle anyways, so I really don't mind getting it off the field. Oh, and they probably run out of stall cards. I think that they have... Oh, they must have another Battle Fader or something in their hand. That's fine. I assume that they do. Okay, here's Swift Scarecrow. Yeah, that works too. And I can make a 7 on other things. Alright, well right now what I really want to happen is I want my opponent to draw one more card so that I can use Ragweed's effect. I only want 2 monsters on the field to match with my 2 lances for when they try to use their... Crap, use their Morphing Jar. Yeah, there it is. Okay. How the heck do I want to do this? I mean, what do I even want to give them? I don't want to give them either of these, but then I also don't want to give them Ragweed. Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm fine with this. I'll give them the Ragweed. I don't even care anymore, since I would only want 2 monsters on the field for this. But then I'm going to be able to lance the Morphing Jar so that it won't be able to go face down. Okay, right now I am going to use Book of Eclipse. I want to... hopefully I can draw something I can tribute over Morphing Jar. That'd be kind of funny. Or a Skill Drain. That would work perfectly fine too. I just don't want them to use Morphing Jar's effect. I don't want to use it technically because if they have Jackpots in their hand, it's my effect now and it'll get banished and that's not good. Okay. Not exactly what I wanted. I could actually nuke the field right now. I'm kind of debating if I want to do that. No, I'm not going to. I want to let them... I'm going to let them keep cards in their hand still. Do I have anything to bring back? Ooh, I could bring back Spore with Miracle Fertilizer. I could bring back Bonefire Blossom. Would there be any rank 8s I could do that with? None that would really be worth it. Okay, I'm just going to go for a lot of damage. Okay, first I'm going to use the Titanial because if they have any more hand traps, I want to be able to block it out with Armades. Whatever you want to call it, however it's pronounced. They had a... Muboku anyways, that's whatever. Yeah, and attacking with those would not do me any good. Okay, then... God, if they have 3 Jackpots in their hand, I'm gonna lose, but I'm gonna risk that they don't. At this point, I don't think that they have 3. I know that they have 1 from their gold Sark. They might have drawn into another at this point. Okay, duality, let's see. Okay, card car, and they're probably gonna go for the card car. At least that's my guess. Jar of Greed, oh, okay. I just want them to run out of stall power. Naturally gonna attack into the Morphing Jar. I'm not gonna let them though. I'm gonna use the other Book of Eclipse. I just really need to get over this Ragweed now. Oh, then again, they can summon any monster and it'll work. So, yeah, even if they summon a hand trap, they could just attack over into the Morphing Jar and make them discard, and I don't want that, though. Oh, there we go, Titanial. So now I can just tribute over the Morphing Jar, and that's all I need to do. So normal summon that, and send these to the grave. And now they don't have the Morphing Jar, so this is probably going to be game for them. Yeah, that's basically what this new deck does for this new win condition, is that you need to give your opponent the Morphing Jar, otherwise it does not work. So if you enjoyed this video, please comment, like, subscribe, and stay brutal.